One of the problems that you might have noticed about just doing a plain old bucket fill with some color is that we've dumped color over top of the entire baby, including the whites of the eyes and including the pink of the lips. This needs to be fixed. So in order to do that, I'm going to zoom in by using the plus and minus keys on my keyboard. You can also control and then scroll the mouse wheel. And on my skin tone layer, I'm going to pull out an eraser and I'm going to erase the skin tone in those areas. Now my brush is a fuzzy brush, which I don't want. I want a hard circle brush. And it's also still too big. So I'm going to try, I triple click and then 7 and then enter. And I can zoom in a little bit more. You might need to click on your picture in order to get the zoom to work. Now it will probably look wrong at the beginning of doing this. The first time you do this, it will look wrong. So don't panic if it looks wrong. And as you go, we'll add another layer. We'll call it eye white. And then we'll call the eyes eye color layer. Oh, you can see I've made a mistake. Control Z. And because I did that as one long click and drag, the Control Z takes back everything. So this time I'm going to be a little smarter and just do click and drag and let go, click and drag and let go. And now each time I do a Control Z, if I make a mistake, it'll just be a little bit that it undoes instead of the whole thing. Because undo takes one click and drag and it undoes everything. So there's the eyes. And we'll get around to retouching up the lips. Okay. Now again, this looks horribly wrong at the start, but we will make it look better. Okay. So now we need a new layer, and I'm going to call it eye tone. And I'll create a new layer and call it lip tone. And one more just because I feel like doing eye white tone. So on eye white tone, this one's fairly straightforward. I'm just going to choose the brush and choose a white. And I'm going to literally, oh, too big a brush. Let's go down to a size 3 and enter. You can also do it a different way. And I'm going to, now again, it looks wrong. And so we're going to change the mode of this layer afterwards so that it blends in better. That's what color will do for us. Now we'll go to the lip layer and we'll add some lip tone. I don't want to make it look like the baby's got makeup on. And I do want to add some size. Maybe 20 will be okay here. And we'll add some eye color. I'm going to randomly choose green. If you would like to choose blue, feel free, or brown. Okay. Now again, this looks horribly wrong because it's just like we've painted on top of the baby's face, which is exactly what we've done. So, eye white, let's change that from normal to color, and then bring the transparency or the opacity down. Lip tone, let's change that from normal to color, and then bring the opacity down. If you click in the top half of the opacity, then it changes to an arrow. Eye tone, let's change that from normal to color and bring the opacity way down. Okay. So my point here is not to overwhelm. And then for instance, with the lip tone, maybe I do want to go back with a fuzzy brush eraser and just sort of erase off these weird hard edges. Okay, maybe I've gone a little too far. I can certainly fix that. On the lip tone layer, I can just go to the eyedropper, pick up the red color again. You see I can pick up my red color here and just try brushing that back on. Oops, too much. Too much. Okay. And the most important thing, I'm at 200% right now. If I change that back to 100%, you can see this is what my baby looks like. So let's bring the lip tone down a little bit more so it's not quite so obvious. And again, I can play with the skin tone and try and bring it back up. Okay, maybe that's wrong. Okay, so for instance, with the skin tone, very easy using the eyedropper to click on the skin tone layer. You see anywhere I click on the baby, it doesn't matter because on the skin tone layer, it's a solid color. And maybe I need to change that color. Maybe I need to not make it quite so bright. Okay, and I'll bucket fill with the new color. And you'll see it's changed a little bit. Again, if I totally take this off, that's what I'm starting with. And you can see that I'm trying to add some, what I think would be realistic color for this picture. Go ahead and give that a try.